Hey everybody, welcome to another great day of rugby out here in New Orleans, Louisiana. We're here on Tulane campus, here to take on and watch the Louisiana Tech versus Tulane rugby match. This is going to be a match that is huge in terms of what is going to result for the Deep South Rugby Conference. We have the first place 5-0 Louisiana Tech taking on 4-1 Tulane. This game is important because Louisiana Tech is trying to establish themselves as number one in the Deep South Conference. And we have Tulane at 4-1 trying to make sure they can get their point out for second place. If they win this game, they get the second place spot and automatic slip into Deep South Rugby Championships afterwards. It's going to be a good day, and I get the pleasure of not being alone in this one today. I actually get a little hosting help with Rugby Commons, the apparel king for this area. We have Michael Wathan. Mike, man.
Hey, good to be here with you, Gift.
Man, I'm glad to have you here. You excited for this game?
Absolutely. One of the best weather days for rugby that you could possibly have. Clear skies, 68 degrees, and it's low humidity, which is rare for New Orleans.
And you know what? You're right. It feels amazing. It does feel amazing. It's what we call perfect rugby weather, something that, you're right, we don't get very often here in Louisiana, let alone in the area in New Orleans. But I'm ready for this game. These guys are still getting set. Let's go down a little bit of the roster for this game before we get started. For Louisiana Tech, we are going to be starting off at number 1, we have Nathan Jordan. At 2, we got Thomas Savoy. At 3, we have David Berry. At 4, we have Ben Lopata. At 5, we have Evan Landau. At 6, Isaiah Prater. At 7, Jalen Brown. At 8, Will Crawford. At 9, Dylan Blair. At 10, Eric Clark. At 11, Hector Savarti. At 12, Aaron Guzite. At 13, Nathan Johnson. At 14, Ian Orton. At 15, Albert Castillo. At 16, Ryan German. And the starting lineup for Tulane: at prop, number 1, Andy Colkin. 2, Eric Fagan. 3, Brad Schnabo. At 4, Jim Skiplon. 5, Johnny Guzman. 6, Jake White. He'll be wearing number 11, though. At flanker, number 7, Brian Book. At 8-man, William Stewart. At scrum half, Todd Matthew. At fly half, we have Jesse Sussman. At winger, we got Austin Cheatwood wearing number 2, though. At center, we got Dylan Talley. Outside center, we have Jalen Carter. Outside winger, we got Ben Bowman. And at fullback, we have Tyler Book. Depending on what happens with this game. Mike, what do you think on this situation?
Man, everybody on this La Tech squad looks strong. They came to do work today. 8 has a really impressive mullet and nice mustache to go along with it.
Will Crawford. You know, they come in style and they're ready to go. It's about to be an intense game today. All right, guys, and the game is kicked off. Louisiana Tech kicks the ball out. Tulane recovering the ball. Tulane taking it down just outside the 45. It's just about the 40-meter mark. Tulane gets the ball out, taking it out to the inside center. Inside center is taken down immediately. Still Tulane possession. Scrum half. Matthews is getting the ball out, getting it out to their forwards, and it's taken down immediately. Ball is out as Tulane is trying to use the forwards to crash the ball in. Still on their feet, and a maul has been formed. Tulane still in possession of the ball, and a ruck is formed. Ball is taken out, still to their forwards, and still trying to set up some spacing for their backs. And we have a penalty. It's going to be against Louisiana Tech. Tulane advantage. Looks like we had some diving into the ruck by Louisiana Tech. Tulane is going to be setting up the kick for touch. And the ball is kicked and taken out just outside the 22-meter line in Louisiana Tech territory. All right, looks like number 7, Brian Brooks, will be throwing in for Tulane for the line out. They're going to be going for a 5-man line out. The referee for today is Kasha Vagan, coming out of Colorado, so we know we have some skilled reffing today. Not that we don't normally have it. Tulane setting up for the throw-in. And a little delay, and Tulane recovers the ball. They still on their feet as they maul over to 22 inside Louisiana Tech territory. And Louisiana Tech with a counter ruck, and we have a penalty. It's going to be an offsides against Tulane. Louisiana Tech taking possession of the ball. Number 10, Eric Clark, will be kicking for touch for the penalty. And the ball is kicked. And we have it at the 45-meter line in Louisiana Tech territory. We have number 2, Thomas Savoy, throwing in for Louisiana Tech. Full line out for Louisiana Tech. And the ball thrown in. Louisiana Tech recovers, sets up for the maul. Louisiana Tech pushing it, trying to get it back inside Tulane territory, and Blair gets the ball out to Clark. Clark skipping a pass and knocks the ball on. Tulane recovering the ball inside Louisiana Tech territory. Ball is taken down. Ball is popped out, and we have the penalty advantage. It's going to be a knock-on against Louisiana Tech. It will be Tulane's ball just about the 50-meter mark, just about the 45-meter mark. It will be the scrum set up. Todd Matthews for Tulane will be setting up to put the ball in. Referees setting up, trying to just make sure that both teams are set. And both teams are now engaged. Matthews gets the ball in, and the ball's put in, still in Tulane's possession. And Matthews gets the ball out to Sussman. Sussman taking the ball out to number, still maintaining possession, still on the ground. Matthews gets the ball out, and we have a stiff arm by Book. Tulane trying to push the ball in, and Louisiana Tech taking Tulane in their backfield just a little bit. Matthews still gets the ball out. Ball bounces off the ground, is taken in by Tulane, and they are caught in their own territory. Louisiana Tech pushing Tulane back, and we have a kick. Tulane sets it up, and it is recovered by number 15, Albert Castillo. Castillo kicking the ball off, and it's recovered by number 11 for Tulane, Austin, not Chestwood, I'm sorry, Dylan Talley, taken in deep. And Tulane inside Louisiana Tech territory, past the 22 inside the 10. Louisiana Tech getting the ball out to 11. 11 getting it out to number 10, Jesse Sussman. Sussman is taken down, and the ruck is formed. Number 8, Will Stewart has the ball, getting it just outside the try-zone. Tulane trying to crash it down. Louisiana Tech just keeping it up, and we have the first score of the day by William Stewart. Tulane drawing first blood.
Yo, that's not a try.
Looks like we didn't have a try. It's actually a penalty. Louisiana Tech actually getting to kick the ball into touch, and that was a kick by Eric Clark, getting it to the 45-meter line in Louisiana Tech territory. So there was no score on that play.
Yeah, Tulane getting called on the double movement there. Really close call, but she got it right.
It really was. Louisiana Tech taking the ball at the 45 for the line out, and we have a penalty. line out is reset, and it's out to Blair. Blair getting it out to Clark. Clark getting it out to Guzit. Guzit getting it out to to Johnson. And Johnson is taken down at the 45. Blair gets the ball out to his forward. Crashing through. Great crash by number 7, Jalen Brown.
With a quick pop.
It's picked up by Thomas Savoy. It's inside Louisiana in Tulane territory. Number 19 taking the ball in. It is a ruck by Louisiana Tech. Ball's taken out to Clark. Clark getting it out to Johnson. Johnson trying to cut it in. Taking it out to his winger. And they have gotten it just about the 50, still inside their territory as they're taken down. That is number 7, Jalen Brown. Looks like we have a penalty advantage to Tulane. Tulane getting the ball out to number 7, Book. Book crashing it inside Louisiana Tech territory. Louisiana Tech recovering the ball on the ruck. And they've crashed it in. That was Will Crawford with the recovery. Dylan Blair is setting up a dummy and trying to get it out to his fly half. Fly half gets it out to still underground, and we have a penalty. It's going to be a forward ball knocked on against Louisiana Tech. It'll be Tulane's ball for the scrum at the 47-meter mark. What were you saying about Tulane, Mike?
They're playing out of their mind right now. The aggressive defense. The 8-man's been really impressive, covering a lot of ground, and they're just holding strong with their defensive front.
Tulane setting up to put in the scrum, and the scrum has been blown up. A little movement on the field, trying to get those front rowers set up and lined out. You don't want to have any concussions or any dangers when it comes to that, so. And the scrum is engaged. Matthews gets the ball in. Tulane still maintaining possession in the scrum. And the ball straight out. Dylan Blair recovers the ball. Still on his feet. Spin out. And you have a ball knocked back. Recovered by Eric Clark. Clark is inside Tulane territory. And he's taken down. Still within the ruck. You have Tulane trying to recover the ball in. And you have a penalty against Tulane. 8-man. Will Stewart trying to pick the ball up in the ruck. It was not going through the gates offside. Clark gets it out to Crawford. Crawford trying to break a tackle, taking it down to the 45-meter line. It looks like we have another penalty. It's going to be a penalty advantage to Louisiana Tech. Correction, it's going to be a penalty advantage to Tulane. It was a knock-on by Louisiana Tech. Todd Matthews setting up to put the ball in for the scrum. And scrum is engaged, and ball is in. And the scrum is turned. It's going to be a turnover to Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech pushing that scrum, turning it to 180, required for a turnover on possession. Tulane, both teams setting up to scrum. And the scrum is engaged. It's going to be a re-put by Matthews. Tulane still maintaining possession of the ball. And Matthews gets the ball out. And Tulane kicks the ball back. It is going to be recovered by fullback Albert Castillo. Oh, no! Tulane's able to recover the ball. Getting it out to number 14, Ben Bowman. Bowman is taken down just about the 22. Ball taken out to Cook. And Cook, looks like we have a penalty. It's going to be a forward pass by Tulane. It's going to be Louisiana Tech ball at the 22-meter inside their territory. A great kick and recovery by Tulane, nullified by a forward pass. Looks like they'll be setting up for the scrum half. Tulane having the advantage. Dylan Blair setting up to put the ball in. Scrum is disengaged as we had the prop Andy Colkin popping out a little bit. We got to get those even. And scrum is engaged. Blair gets the ball in. And Tulane recovers the ball. It's picked up by 8-man Stewart. Stewart's still on his feet, passing it out to Matthews. Matthews is taken down, still gets back up on his feet, and we have a penalty advantage to Louisiana Tech, holding the ball on the ground. It's going to be Louisiana Tech's ball at the 10-meter line. Eric Clark setting up to kick for touch. And the ball is kicked, and it'll be taken at the 30-meter mark. Ball will be thrown in by number 2 Savoy for Louisiana Tech, and we have a penalty. At least the referee blown up the play. Both teams not set. Savoy will be thrown in again for Louisiana Tech. We have a full line out for Tech. Tech recovers the ball on the line out, sets up for the ball, drops the ball, and we have a knock-on against Tech. It's going to be a scrum at the mark at that same 35-40 meter mark. Just trying to center it out a little bit, and it'll be Tulane's ball inside Louisiana Tech territory. What have you been seeing so far that's been causing a lot of these penalties?
Oh, it just seemed like early game, jitters, long travel for La Tech. I'm not sure, but it's very sloppy right now. Hope these teams can clean it up.
Tech scrum has been engaged. Matthews is putting in for Tulane. And the ball is out for Tulane. Gets it out to their number 10, Jesse Sussman. Sussman taking it out, trying to get it out to his 12-man. Dylan Talley, and it looks like it went into touch. It's going to be Louisiana Tech's ball inside Tulane territory, about the 47-meter mark. Looks like they're calling it directly at the 50. Savoy will be throwing in for Louisiana Tech. Both teams set. Looks like we have full lineouts. And Tech recovers the ball, and we have a penalty. It's going to be not straight for Louisiana Tech. Tulane having a chance for a scrum or a lineout. Looks like they'll be calling for the lineout. Lineout will be thrown in by Brian Book for Tulane. Both teams getting reset. And Tulane gets the ball out to Matthews. Matthews gets it out to Sussman. Sussman getting that out to his forward, and the ball is on the ground and kicked. It was a saving kick, almost recovered by Louisiana Tech on the knock-on as it goes into touch. Kick was made by Ben Bowman and was dropped by Albert Castillo. It'll be Tulane's ball inside Tech territory, about the 40 meter mark. Tulane is getting a lot of breaks in this game, a lot of the penalties in their advantage. It's just needing to score, as the score is 5-0, is still 0-0 at this point. Tulane gets the ball in. Ball is taken out, and it goes into touch. It'll be Tulane's ball for the line out. Drop ball by Dylan Blair, trying to take advantage of that popped out ball from the scrum. Book will be setting up to throw in for Tulane. And Tulane gets the ball out. It's out to Matthews. Matthews getting out to Sussman. Sussman taking it out to number 12, Tally. Ball is taken down at the ruck just inside Tech territory. And number 8 man is on his feet. Still down to Stewart, getting it inside the 22-meter mark. Tulane still in possession of the ball with the ruck. Matthews gets the ball out. It's taken it out to Sussman. Sussman makes a fake and is taken down just outside the try zone. Ruck is formed. Ball is taken out to number 3, Schnabo, and he is pushed out into touch just at the 2-meter mark, almost at the try zone for Tulane. Going to be a throw-in by Thomas Savoy. Team setting up for the line-out. It looks like we have a 5-man line-out for Tech, 6-man line-out. We got a full line-out for Tech. They're deep inside their territory, just at their try zone in Tech territory.
You ready for a maul and a kick? Stand, drop.
And Tech recovers the ball on the line-out, and they are trying to set up the maul, taken down for the ruck. Looks like Tulane's trying to set up the counter ruck. As Tulane recovers the ball in the ruck, Tulane just at the try line. As they're trying to dive in using the forwards. It's a bloody mess inside there. It looks like it's going to be a penalty advantage to Tulane, offsides by Louisiana Tech. Tulane setting up. And the ball gets out to Sussman. Sussman gets it out to number 11, Cheatwood. Ball is taken down, and Tulane gets the ball out to their 8-man Stewart. Stewart's still on his feet, still trying to crash, still trying to make something happen, and he's taken down. Matthews gets the ball out to Sussman. Sussman is spun and taken down by Eric Clark for Louisiana Tech, and the ball is stolen by number 7, Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown on his feet still, passes out to number 6, Prater. Prater's still on his feet, still trying to make some meters. As he's taken down just about the 22, ruck is being formed. And we have a knock-on against Louisiana Tech. It'll be Tulane's ball. Tech giving themselves a little space despite losing the ball at the 22-meter mark. It's going to be Tulane's ball inside Louisiana Tech territory. Matthew setting up to put the ball in as the ref gets these teams ready for the engagement, for the scrum. And the ball is put in. Looks like the ball is sitting on the edge, and it's picked up by Tulane. We have a penalty. It's going to be a penalty advantage to Louisiana Tech. Offsides by Tulane. Eric Clark setting up to kick the ball into touch. And Clark gets the ball into touch inside Tulane territory. It will be taken at the 44-meter mark. All right, as both teams setting up, what are you seeing so far, Mike, from these teams in this very, very push and pull match?
Well, I'm seeing a lot of breakdowns where teams aren't secure in the ruck, and that ball is just being turned over. Each fly half understands what he's doing. It seems to be happening just outside of that channel with the 12.
Looks like Tulane will be getting the ball on the improper throw-in by Louisiana Tech. It's still inside Tulane territory at the 44-meter. Seems like we have a little confusion with the line out, and Tulane recovers the ball. Ball's on the ground, and it's recovered by number 7, Brown, again for the turnover. Louisiana Tech does the second ball that he's gotten out. Blair gets the ball out to Clark. Clark getting it on to Guzic on the inside throw-in. Guzic still on his feet, trying to get it back out to Clark. Looks like we have a little bobble ball going down there. It's going to be a knock-on by Louisiana Tech inside Tulane territory, just outside the 22-meter, about the 24-meter line. It's going to be a scrum advantage to Tulane. And we got blown up scrum as both teams are not properly set. Got to get those forwards prepared and got to make sure that you don't have any issues or going into any injuries. And scrum is set and engaged. Tulane gets the ball in. And Louisiana Tech steals the ball. Crawford picks up the ball on the 8-man for Louisiana Tech. Crashes it into a Tulane player as he takes it over the 22-meter mark. Blair setting up for the pick up and go as he's taken down almost immediately. Still looks like Louisiana Tech ball as Tech is crashed it on the outside by number 4, Lapata. Still within Tech territory as it looks like 8-man Crawford is getting the ball in. And we have the first score of the day. Looks like it was 8-man William Crawford putting it in for Louisiana Tech for the first score of the day.
It's a nice series by La Tech. You know, it looked like a few pick and goes, and they drove it about 20 meters in the 6 phases.
Yeah. We got to give a lot of credit to Jalen Brown with the recovery on the line-out. That's the second one, and this time it looked like they were able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, Jalen has some speed out there, and he finds the loose ball, and he's got a nose for it.
Good flanker. Good reason to be a flanker. Good big-sized guy with quick speed. Looks like Eric Clark is going to be setting up for the point after. And the point after is not made. It's going to be 5-0. Louisiana Tech up on Tulane as both teams are rushing to get back into position for the kickoff. Tulane trying to get ready for the quick kick. Louisiana Tech not fully set up as they are preparing. It looks like it'll be number 15, Tyler Book, setting up for the kick for Tulane. And the kick is off. And Tulane attempts to recover their own pass, but it is picked up by Louisiana Tech and pushed into touch. It's going to be Tulane ball inside Tech territory, just about the 40-meter mark.
It'll be interesting to see how Tulane responds. You know, they nearly scored 2 or 3 times, then La Tech gets down there and scores first.
A lot of openings that they had, a lot of opportunities. Tulane throws the ball in, almost loses the ball on the lineout, but gets it. Sussman has the ball, taking it down, and it's taken down just at the 43 mark. Matthews gets the ball out to number 13, Jalen Carter. Carter is taken down, a little movement, and Louisiana Tech attempted to counter ruck and is picked up by Savoy. Savoy gets it to Clark, and we have a penalty. It's going to be a knock-on by Tech. It's going to be at the about the 44-meter mark, 43-meter mark inside Louisiana Tech territory. Both teams trying to pick up the intensity a little bit late in this first half. Scrum is engaged. Matthews getting the ball in, and the ball is in. Louisiana Tech trying to get the ball, but a collapse scrum call is blown up by the ref. It's going to be a reset, Tulane ball again. Both teams resetting up for the scrum. And scrum is engaged. Matthews gets the ball in, and ball's almost popped out. Looks like Matthews was able to get it out to Sussman. Sussman gets the ball kicked out. Looks like it is recovered by Tulane as they attempt to try and get it, but Louisiana, it looks like it goes into touch.
Good cover there by the fullback, Albert Castillo.
For Tech. So it looks like it's going to be a line out. Okay, line out in favor of Louis Tech. All right. Thomas Savoy is going to throw in. Yeah, that was a great awareness by Castillo to disrupt that kick. Tech gets the ball. It's going down in for the maul as they set up the maul deep inside their own territory. Tulane trying to put a little bit of a counter maul to it.
I get that a lot, but a couple times.
Looks like it's falling into the ruck as Tulane attempts to recover the ball, but it is going to be offsides. It's going to be penalty advantage to Louisiana Tech. We're going to have Eric Clark setting up to kick the ball. And Clark gets the ball off, and it looks like it'll be taken just outside the 44, about the 40, inside Louisiana Tech territory. Tech looking to take advantage with this line out as they get the ball set up for the maul again. Tech trying to make the push, making a little bit better of a push than they did initially. Guzman gets the ball out to Clark. Clark getting it out to Guzite. I'm sorry, that was a little confusing. Guzite's still on his feet as he is taken down. Clark attempted to pick up on the counter ruck, and looks like we still have to pick up by number 6, Crater. Tech still has the ball, still on their feet to one of the forwards. Brown gets the ball out, bouncing it to the outside, crashes over a Tulane player, passes out to number 11, Hector Savardi. Savardi still taken down. Brown picks it up. He's taking it into open field, still on his feet, still holding up Tulane players. As he's still on his feet, players trying to get him down as he's taken down just about the 22-meter. Blair gets the ball out, taking it around the edge, and is taken down just about the 22. Ruck is set over. Louisiana Tech gets the ball out to number 13, Johnson. Johnson gets it out to Guzit. Guzit gets it out to Clark. Clark taking it out to number 15, Castillo. Castillo getting it out to his winger as they're taking down just about the 5-meter mark inside Tulane territory. Tech trying to crash it through again, trying to get that score. Blair trying to direct his forwards as it is taken to number 3, David Berry. Tulane putting up a strong defense at the tri-zone line. Blair getting the ball out to doing a put-in himself, trying to run it in. It is picked up by Tech forward. It's taken down immediately as Tulane attempts to counter ruck. It is going to be still in Tech hands. It is another crash and fall at the tri-zone line. Blair gets the ball out to Clark. Clark getting it out to Johnson. Johnson getting it out to Castillo. And it is taken in by Nathan Jordan, by Hector Savardi. Number 11, Hector Savardi gets the ball out for the score for Louisiana Tech. But it looks like we have a penalty. It's going to be a forward pass. It's going to be a forward pass by Tulane. Penalty advantage to Louisiana Tech. It's going to be still back just about that 5-meter mark. The score by Hector Savardi is taken back. It's going to be scrum advantage to Tech.
Had another really nice run by Jalen Brown in that series.
Nathan Johnson putting in some work, showing a little bit of little quick skills for the outside center spot. And we have a blown up scrum. Trying to get these players a little settled down. Both teams setting up for the scrum. Scrum is engaged. Blair setting to put the ball in for Tech. Tulane trying to spin that out. And it looks like we have an 8-man pickup by Crawford. And we have a score.
That's another one for Crawford.
Second score on the day for Will Crawford.
It makes that mullet look great.
The power of party in the back and business in the front.
Louisiana Tech's really settled into this game, maintaining a lot of possession, and they've cleaned it up. What we were both hoping to see these guys do.
It takes a little bit of time to get those nerves down, but once it does, they are starting to actually play a little less sloppy-free rugby. Eric Clark is setting up for the point after. Setting up for the kick. And kick is made. It is going to be 7-0. Louisiana Tech up on... I'm sorry. It's going to be 12-0. Louisiana Tech up on Tulane. Tulane setting up for the kickoff. Number 15, Tyler Book setting to kick off for Tulane. And the ball is kicked. And Louisiana Tech is able to recover the ball. That's number 7. Sorry. Yeah, it's number 7, Jalen Brown, that was able to keep that. I'm sorry, that was number 1, Nathan Jordan keeping it down. Looks like we have a penalty against Tech. It's going to be Tulane advantage. Looks like we had diving into the ruck. And Book gets the ball, kicks the ball into touch just about the 10-meter mark, about the 5-meter mark inside Louisiana Tech territory.
Tulane needs to respond here. They've got the line out. They've got some good forward play so far. It'd be nice to see the backs put one in here.
Tulane setting to throw the ball in for the line out. Number 7, Brian Book setting to throw in for the line out. And it looks like it's a missed ball, and we have a penalty. It's going to be a penalty advantage to Louisiana Tech. Not straight thrown in ball. It's going to be a scrum. It's going to be a scrum. It's going to be a scrum advantage to Louisiana Tech. Dylan Blair setting up to put the ball in for the scrum, deep inside Tech territory. And the scrum is engaged. Blair gets the ball in. And we have a blown up scrum. It's going to be a re-scrum advantage to Louisiana Tech. And the scrum is re-engaged. Blair gets the ball in for Tech. Tech trying to set up a tough one as they are turning the scrum again. It's going to be, looks like it's going to be a free. Looks like we're Trying to determine whether it'll be a re-scrum or a free kick for, it's going to be a re-scrum. Louisiana Tech advantage again for the third scrum in a row. Blair gets the ball, and ball is still in Tech, and we have another blown up scrum. It's going to be a penalty advantage to Tech. Still. Hopefully we can get this fourth scrum without any issues of turning. The ball's in. Tech trying to quickly recover. Blair gets the ball out, throws it behind his back, trying to get it out to a Tech player as he's Tech player still on his feet. That is number 17 for Louisiana Tech, taking the ball in. Blair gets the ball, picking it up. He's still on his feet, taking it out to the 22-meter inside Tech territory. Louisiana Tech picking up the ball, trying to crash it through, just getting over the line. That's number 1, Nathan Jordan, with the crash. Tech trying to set themselves up. Looks like we have a bit of penalty advantage going to Louisiana Tech. It's going to be a scrum just outside the 22, just about the 30-meter mark. And scrum is engaged. Ball is put in. It's Tech's ball, and Crawford gets the ball, takes it out to Blair. Blair taking it back into Crawford as he crashes over to 44. Still taking down ruck is formed. Tulane trying to set up the counter ruck. Looks like number 1 Jordan for Tech is able to get the ball, still keeping it out of touch. Number 9 Blair has the ball, and he's taking it across the 50-meter mark inside Tulane territory. And ball is taken into touch about the 47-meter mark. It'll be Tulane's ball inside Tulane territory. Book setting up the throw in for Tulane. And Tulane gets the ball. Is number 8 man Stewart. Stewart crashing the ball, passing it out to Sussman. Sussman taking it to the edge, passing it back inside to number 12 Tally. Tally cutting it inside as taken down at the 22-meter inside Tech territory. Ruck is formed. And number 8 man Stewart picks up the ball, takes it, and is in for the score with some quick feet moves. William Stewart is able to put Tulane on the board for the first time today.
Looks like it's going to be a battle of the 8-man, Giv.
12-5. I don't know if they made that first.
Yes, it looks like who is going to be the better mullet in this game. You need to see it on the site. Have everything. All right. Looks like the point after is going to be kicked by number 15, Tyler Book. Setting up for the kick, and Book gets the ball in. It is going to be halftime, and at halftime, the score is 12-7. La Tech up on Tulane. tell me a little bit. What is it that you feel you've seen so far from this game from both teams?
Two really good 8-men. Each one of them has found their way into the try zone. And aside from that, good defensive play. Each of these squads has shown that they can make their tackles.
Well, look, as a former coach yourself, what are some things that you think should be improved upon for both teams?
Well, as far as La Tech, they did a really good job of moving the ball around, giving us a chance to watch some exciting rugby, and that's something we all want to see coming out here. Tulane, they need to keep possession when they have it. Too many costly penalties on both sides. But as far as making this game more even, Tulane really needs to take advantage of possession while they have it. They need to string together some phases. They're not going to get easy tries.
All right, excellent. Looks like both these teams are just about set to start. We are just waiting for the ref. Louisiana Tech will be kicking off to Tulane for the second half. And the whistle is blown. Book is set up to kick off for Tulane. And ball is kicked. And it is recovered by number 8-man Stewart, but he is not quite 10 meters. So it's going to be a scrum It's going to be a scrum at the 50-meter mark for Louisiana Tech. We have some substitutions for Louisiana Tech. We have substituted number 5 Evan Landau for number 21 Max Bozeman, and for flanker Isaiah Prater at number 6 for Mike Tullis at number 19. Both teams are setting up for the scrum, and scrum is engaged. Dylan Blair gets the ball in for Tech. Still sitting inside that scrum. Blair getting the ball out, taking it himself. Gets the ball out to number 17, Kenny Montgomery. Louisiana Tech is taken down and picked up. It looks like we have a penalty against Louisiana Tech holding the ball down while on the ground. Tulane will be setting up for the kick into touch, and Book kicks the ball into touch deep inside Tech territory. Looks like it's going to be going out about the 10-meter mark. A great kick by number 15 Tyler Book. Looks like we're setting up for the lineouts. It's gonna be Tech ball. I'm sorry. It's gonna be Tulane ball at the lineout. Looks like they're trying to look for where the ball was kicked out to. Tulane setting to throw the ball in. It is Brian Book setting to put the ball in for Tulane for the lineout. And the ball is taken by Louisiana Tech. And Tech is taken down immediately. Dillon gets the ball out to Clark. Clark trying to fake it back inside and is taken down right back at the 10. Dillon gets the ball out and attempted to kick by Savoy. And Tulane is not able to get the ball down inside the try zone. It is not called. It looks like it is going to be still waiting for the call to be made. Looks like we had a penalty before the kick. It looks like it's going to be a forward off the hit by Tulane. So unfortunately, that will not be a score for Tulane. Looks like... All right, I'm sorry. It's going to be the penalty. It's scrum advantage to Tulane. Matthews setting up to put the ball in for Tulane. And ball is still within scrum. 8-man Stewart picks up the ball on the quick crash, taken down just before the try line. Tulane trying to crash the ball in, and we have another penalty. It's going to be a penalty advantage to Tulane. Looks like we would have a knock-on by Louisiana Tech. So scrum is going to be set up for scrum advantage for Tulane. And the scrum is engaged. And Matthews puts the ball in. And it is set up for the scrum. Matthews gets the ball out to Sussman. Sussman trying to fake it out, taking it out to number 12, Book. And we have a score. Number 12, Dylan Talley getting the score for Tulane. Tulane has tied it up 12-12. Before the point after. Tyler Books setting up for the score. It's at 5 minutes into the second half. Tulane was able to score.
Tulane comes out ready to go in the second half.
Looks like they're looking to take advantage of those possession opportunities.
Yeah, it was a hard run by 12.
Dylan Talley.
Dylan Talley, really nice run.
And that is for 2. Tulane is able to take the lead for the first time this game, 14-12 in the second half. Tech will be looking to respond.
There we go, Dylan.
Looks like they're looking for the ball, trying to get these things all organized and sorted out. Eric Clark setting up for the kick. And Tulane recovers the ball and hit immediately at reception. Tulane still maintains possession of the ball as the ruck is formed. Ball is taken out to Sussman and blocked by Eric Clark. Eric Clark attempted to get the kick. Jalen Brown picks up the ball. I'm sorry, that was Nathan Johnson. And it's taken out to Castillo. Castillo is taking it out to the edge, and Louisiana Tech trying to get the ball in, and we have a penalty against Tulane. It's an offsides. It's a diving into the ruck. It's against Louisiana Tech, but a quick play by Tulane is messed up, and it looks like there will be a reset of the penalty for not backing up 10 meters by Louisiana Tech. Tyler Book is going to be looking to kick the ball out into touch. And ball is kicked and it's hit by the trees, but it's going to be called at the 50-meter mark. It's going to be Tulane line out at the 50-meter mark. Brian Book will be setting up to throw in for the line out. And the ball is missed, but Tulane is able to recover. Attempted hit and is not able to do it. Number 8, Stewart, is able to get the ball out. Popped out to number 10, Sussman, and he's trying to get some open field, taking down just about the 22-meter mark. Ruck is formed. Tulane maintaining possession of the ball. Matthews is immediately tackled by Dylan as the ball is taken out and pushed into touch. Looks like it'll be Looks like we have a penalty advantage going to Tulane. It'll be offsides by Louisiana Tech. Tyler Book looking to kick the ball into touch, and ball is kicked just about the 5 meter mark, give or take. Tulane setting for the throw-in. And ball is recovered by Stewart for Tulane, and score is made. That will be the second score by number 8, William Stewart for Tulane. Score is up 19 to 12 Tulane. Looks like Tulane was able to wake up a little bit at halftime.
Absolutely. Sorry, caught me off guard.
Keeping you on your toe, man.
Trying to find my Instagram post here.
Looks like we're looking for the point after being kicked in by Tyler Book. And kick is made. That's gonna put Tulane up 21-12. 11 minutes into the half. Louisiana Tech setting up for the kickoff. Eric Clark looking to kick the ball off. And the ball does not go quite 10 meters. And no pickup allows Louisiana Tech number 2 Savoy to get the ball. Passed out to number 7 Jalen Brown. And we have a forward pass against Louisiana Tech. It's going to be Tulane's ball inside the 22. And this is a lesson to any ruggers out there. Until you hear the whistle, do not stop playing the ball. Tulane kicks the ball out into touch. It'll be taken at the inside Tech territory at the 43 meter mark. Tulane setting up for the throw-in. They have a full line out. And Tech recovers the ball. Savoy picks it up. It's taken out to Tech's number 18, Craig James. Dylan Brown gets the ball out to Clark. Clark gets it out to Guzik. Guzik cuts it inside and is still on his feet. Tulane attempted to try and strip the ball from him as he's down on his knees. And we have a blown up call. It's going to be a scrum advantage to Tulane.
Gifttime hasn't found any daylight between the centers against this Tulane team. The 13 for Tulane is Jalen Carter, and I haven't seen him miss a tackle yet, and he's just smothering the centers from La Tech.
Tulane gets the ball in on the scrum. 8-man Stewart picks it up. Looks like we have an 8-on-8, and we have a high tackle call against 8-man Will Crawford for Louisiana Tech. It's going to be penalty advantage to Tulane. Looks like they're going to be going for the ball. No kick into touch. Scrum half Matthews is setting up to get the ball out. Passes out to Stewart. Stewart attempts to bat down the player. Still on his feet. Holding the ball up forward to set up the maul. And the ruck is formed. Tulane still in possession of the ball. Matthews gets the ball out to Sussman. Sussman taking it out to his inside center and loses it. It is picked off by number 13, Nathan Johnson for Tech. Tech recovers the ball, is taken in by number 19, Mike Tullis. Dylan Blair kicks the ball out as it is recovered by number 15, Tyler Brooks. Brooks kicks it back and it goes into touch about the 5 meter, just right outside that try zone. It's going to be Louisiana Tech's ball. We're giving about the 5 meter mark. Looks like we'll have another deep inside Louisiana Tech territory ball. Number 2, Thomas Savoy setting up for the throw-in for the line-out. Tech recovers the ball. Blair recovers it, trying to take it around to the outside himself. Is caught and pushed into touch. It's going to be Tulane's ball at touch, about the 5. It looks like we have a little bit of a scuffle between the Tulane and Louisiana Tech players. It's quickly broken up. Emotions of the game. Score so far is Tulane 21 over Tech's 12. We are only 16 minutes into this second half, so there is a lot of rugby still to be played. Tulane setting up for the line-out. They have a full-man line-out. And the ball is batted down to Tech, but recovered again by Tulane. Ruck is formed. Tulane still maintaining possession of the ball. And we have a penalty. It's going to be a penalty advantage to Tulane. Knock on by Louisiana Tech. Still deep inside Louisiana Tech territory. Looks like the scrum is being set up. And scrum is engaged. Tulane gets the ball in. And 8-man Stewart picks up the ball. He is tackled by number 7, Jalen Brown. Tulane formed a ruck and trying to crash it in themselves. Ruck is formed. Looks like we have an attempted ruck, and it looks like we have a blown-up play. It's going to be a penalty. Waiting for the ref to call the penalty advantage. Looks like it's going to be a penalty advantage to Tulane. Scrum's going to be held at the 5-meter mark. And scrum is engaged. Tulane picks up the ball, takes it out to Sussman. Sussman getting it out to number 13, Carter. Carter's taken down. And a lost ball in the ruck, picked up by Eric Clark for Louisiana Tech. Tech attempted to set up the ruck, and we have a penalty. It is going to be a penalty to advantage to Louisiana Tech. It's going to be scrum advantage at the 5 for Louisiana Tech.
Gift, you've seen Louisiana Tech play this year. Are you surprised with what Tulane has been able to do today?
To be honest, considering I expected a little bit more defense out of Louisiana Tech, so I'm really impressed by how strong Tulane has been able to play Tech. I did not expect them to find themselves inside Tech territory this often. Again, that key being just taking advantage of the opportunities there. So I still look for Tech to still break it out later in the second half, but I got to give a lot of credit to Tulane. They have put up a really good match this game, and they've come out stronger. It's little wonder as to why they only have one loss on the season. Looks like we have a little bit of confusion in the scrum. Refs trying to set these front men up. And scrum is engaged. Tech gets the ball. Balls go straight out, and it is picked up by 8-man Stewart for Tulane. And we have the third score for William.
Oh, this guy's playing an incredible game today.
He is definitely in beast mode today. William Stewart for the hat trick. It is 26-12. Tulane up over Louisiana Tech. Wait, right before the point after.
Louisiana Tech has got to respond here. There's a lot of time left, but this score.
Oh, and the point after is missed as it's hit off the uprights. It's going to be 26-12. Tulane up on Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech trying to set up for the quick kickoff. Trying to take advantage of the disruption for Tulane. It's not going to be anything as they just set up. Clark gets the ball out. And it's recovered by number 8, William Stewart. Stewart is taken down immediately inside Tulane territory, just outside the 22. Ball's passed out, and a big hit on Tulane, and he is able to take the hit. Looks like the ball's passed out to the 4, taken out to number 13, Carter. Carter is taken down just about the 30-meter mark. Looks like looks like Tally was attempting to try and get one in. It's going to be a knock-on against Tulane. Scrum advantage to Louisiana Tech. Both teams setting up for the scrum. And we have a bit of an injury on the field. Taking a quick break. We'll be right back once the ref's break is completed. Gifttime Rugby Network is the newest rugby source available, covering rugby here in the southeast region of the United States at the college, club, and high school levels, as well as covering the USA Eagles women's and women's 15s and 7s. Keep up with scores, schedules, and people at www.gifttimerugby.com. Follow us on Twitter at GiftTimeRugby or like us on Facebook at facebook.com/GiftTimeRugby. That's Gifttime with 2 T's. Don't forget, when you live the rugged life, don't forget to grow rugby. Want to keep up with rugby news in your region? Check out online YouTube show Grow Rugby. We will keep you up with what's going on in rugby in the United States. Check us out on Fridays or Saturdays. Watch Grow. All right, and we're back. It looks like a player was able to find himself off the field, so pick himself up. Looks like just a little winded. Both teams are playing extremely hard this game. Tech is both teams setting up for the scrum. It'll be Tech's ball inside Tulane territory on the scrum advantage. And the scrum is engaged. Blair gets the ball in. And looks like the scrum is turned. And Matthews gets the ball out, and we have a blown play. It's going to be advantage to Louisiana Tech on the mishandled scrum. It's a knock on against Tulane. And scrum is engaged. Tulane gets the ball in. Louisiana Tech gets the ball in. Blair trying to pick up the ball, and Blair gets it out to Clark. Clark trying to cut it inside and is tackled inside the 22 meters inside Tulane territory. Ruckus form. Blair getting the ball out to Guzay. Guzay getting the ball out to Nathan Johnson. Johnson is taken down immediately. And it looks like it was a stolen scrum by Tulane. Tulane gets the ball out to their number 12, Tally. Tally is taken down inside Tulane territory. And number 15, Book kicks the ball out as it goes out, and at the 50-meter mark, it will be Louisiana Tech ball at the 50-meter mark late in this second half. The score is 26 to 12. Tulane up on Louisiana Tech. And ball is thrown in. Louisiana Tech recovering the ball. Setting up for the maul as they're trying to push to create a little bit of space for themselves. And Louisiana Tech is taken down just outside the 44, picked up by Jalen Brown. Brown is still on his feet, still charging through, passes the ball out, and loses the ball into touch. It's going to be Tulane ball inside Tulane territory, just outside the 22-meter line. We're looking at about the 25-meter mark. Tulane setting up to throw into the full lineout. And the ball is recovered by William Stewart. Stewart gets the ball out to Sussman. Number 15, Casillo, is trying to recover the ball for Louisiana Tech. Trying to cut it up the field and is taken down. Tech trying to set up the ruck. And it is going to be a penalty advantage to La Tech, offsides by Tulane inside Louisiana Tech territory. And ball is kicked into touch. It's going to be at the just about the 40-meter mark. Savoy gets the ball in. Tech recovers the ball on the line out, tries to set up the maul. Looks to try and keep pushing the maul. They're still inside Tech territory. Trying to run it out. Looks like it was number 18, Craig James, trying to run the ball out. Tech still maintaining possession of the ball. Tulane attempting to cover. It looks like Nathan Johnson is able to recover the ball for Louisiana Tech. Is taken down just back at the 44-meter mark where they started. The 40-meter mark where they started. Tech trying to use the forwards, crash through. Ball picked up by Brown. It's taken down immediately. Ruck is being formed. Tech still maintaining possession as Dylan Blair breaks it out into open field. He's looking for a player to pass it off to. Number 15, Tyler Book, is able to slow him down and take him down before he was able to score. And it is still Tech ball, still trying to set up the ruck. Looks like Guzite was able to pick up the ball for Tech. Ball passed out to William Crawford. Crawford pushes off a player, is taken down. Tulane trying to strip the ball and is able to recover the ball in the ruck. Ball is taken out to number 13, Carter. Carter breaking it out into the field, taking it out to the outside, being chased by Jalen Brown, is taken and curbed just a bit. Stewart is taken, and we have a penalty. Big plays by both teams. It's going to be a forward pass by Jalen Carter for Tulane. An ill-advised pickup to William Stewart. Louisiana Tech will get the ball back at the 22-meter line inside their territory.
Boy, that was the most exciting set of the game so far.
Oh, my goodness. That was anybody's right there. All right, we have a referee stoppage at the moment.
Don't need any subs. I got this.
From my website. Looks like we have just trying to get these players back up. It looks like we had a bit of an injury. Looks like it was scrum half Matthews that was walked off the field a bit. Game is back on. Looks like we trying to figure out who's the substitution for the scrum half. Looks like Sussman is moved into scrum half, and number 12, Dylan Talley, is moved to fly half. It's not sure who the actual subs overall was. Oh, okay. Looks like they brought in number 22, Coleman Cunningham, to substitute for.
They always make them do it in the alumni game. We do a lot of times. Kane's lost some weight too. He's pretty fit. So lately,
Tech is gonna get the ball in, gonna get the scrum advantage.
usually we have about 20 forwards show up. Rignac's finally
10 minutes. Blair gets the ball in on the scrum.
Oh, Burley?
David, yeah.
Will Crawford is able to pick it up as for the 8-man pickup. Still hold on his feet as he is taken down. Ruck is being formed as Tulane is trying to recover the ball on the counter ruck. And we have a penalty advantage going to Louisiana Tech. We have about 9 minutes remaining in this game. Tulane up 26-12 over the number 1 Deep South Conference runner, Louisiana Tech. Tulane trying to take this win so they can get the number 2 spot for the Deep South Rugby Conference. And Dylan Blair gets the ball in. And ball picked up by Will Crawford to Blair. Blair gets it out to Castillo. And Castillo is taken into touch at the 44-meter mark. It's going to be a throw-in by flanker Book. It's going to be Tulane advantage. And Tulane recovers the ball. It is picked up by number 21, Jay Brow. And ball is still Tulane possession. And we have a penalty. It's going to be an offside. Offside against Louisiana Tech. Big hit made on Sussman on the offside.
Tulane has been clinical at the breakdown, secure with every possession, and that was something that they really had to do in order to pull ahead in this game, and they've done it.
Tulane kicks the ball into touch just about the 5-meter mark inside Tech territory. Just waiting for the line out. Tulane trying to set themselves up on the line out. And Tulane recovers the ball, gets it out to Sussman. Sussman gets it out to Tally. Tally taking it out to his inside center and is taken down just at the try zone. Tulane trying to crash it in, and it looks like we're going to have there's a scrum advantage going to Tulane if the call, and there we go. Looks like we have a free kick for Tulane. Ref's talking with captain for Louisiana Tech.
Close to Carrollton. Yeah, right on the edge where the neighborhood too.
Yeah, Fountain Blue.
Yeah. We're gonna block off Fountain Blue.
I used to live when I moved back here.
He's talking with number 16, Ryan German. Going to be Tulane ball still. Tech trying to set up at the try line to stuff up that attempted Tulane running. And Tulane knocks the ball on, and it is going to be Louisiana Tech's ball in the at the 5-meter line. Five minutes.
Oh, you got 30 seconds. What?
Yeah.
And the scrum is engaged. La Tech getting the ball in. Scrum is being turned and twisted, and it will be a re-scrum at the 5. It'll still maintain Louisiana Tech possession.
I think the play actually.
Like I say, they should.
I think it's an extra like 15 minutes.
And scrum is engaged. Louisiana Tech getting the ball in. And Tulane seems to have recovered the ball. 8-man pickup, and we have a blown up scrum. As the scrum falls apart, there will be a re-scrum penalty. It's going to be a scrum advantage to Louisiana Tech again for the 3rd scrum in a row.
And the time is just getting cleared off the clock here. Not much left for Louisiana Tech here.
Louisiana Tech needs to get themselves settled at this point. They only have 4 minutes remaining in this game. Still a two-try disadvantage for Louisiana Tech. 2-try deficit for Louisiana Tech. Ball's in. And the ball looks like Tulane is able to recover. William Stewart cutting it inside, passes out to number 12, Tally. Tally trying to get is taken down by Louisiana Tech for the score. Number 12, Dylan Talley is able to take down the second, for the most likely final score for this game, as Tulane goes up 31-12 in the second half. Tyler Book is setting up for the point after. Setting up for the conversion.
I think he played last. He started I thought I saw him play.
And conversion is no good. It is going to be 31-12. 2 minutes remaining in the game. Louisiana Tech, not probably too much left for them to be able to do. I think that will pretty much be that final nail in the coffin. Tulane can only hope to just put up enough points just to keep themselves separated in terms of marking. They will still maintain that number 1 position as they have no losses on the game. This will be their first loss.
All right, I'll come on in.
Looks like Tulane's trying to put in some of their not-so-played characters in there, making it a little confusing for us, but it's okay. It's no big deal. Blair kicks the ball off for Louisiana Tech. Recovered by number 8, William Stewart. Knocked on by Stewart. Is going to be a penalty advantage for Louisiana Tech. Clark gets the ball out to number 19, Mike Tullis. Ruck is formed. Number 1, Nathan Jordan tries to get the ball in. Is almost lost in touch. Throws the ball in. Tulane recovers. Tulane's able to get it out to their outside. It's taken down just outside their 22-meter line, just inside their 22-meter line inside Tulane territory. Tulane kicks the ball off. Looks like it'll be recovered by, not be recovered. It'll go into touch inside Louisiana Tech territory. Just about the 44-meter mark inside Tech territory. Louisiana Tech Tulane is setting up to throw it. Louisiana Tech is setting to throw the ball in on the line out. Trying to do any little thing to keep up within this game as they're in the final minute. And Tech loses the ball on the line out. Recovered by Tulane. Tackled immediately inside Tulane territory. Tulane setting up the ruck. Sussman is taken down immediately. And we have a penalty. It's going to be a penalty advantage to Tulane. Louisiana Tech backing up their 5. Tyler Book is setting to kick the ball into touch. And ball is not kicked into touch. Recovered by number 21, Max Bozeman. And we have a penalty call. Is going to be, ball is going to be kicked into touch just outside the try zone, about the 5-meter mark. It'll be Tulane. It'll be a Tulane line out.
Men of the match, what do you think, Gift?
I can't say. I have to go with Mr. Hat Trick, William Stewart, for 8-man. I mean,
I can't argue that.
He's been incredible, both on defense and offense. Once again, Stewart recovers the ball, still on his feet, trying to give his Tulane players a chance to come over. Tulane gets the ball out, bumbles the ball a little bit. still in recovery. Dylan Blair is still taking down the Tulane player. And we have a penalty. It's going to be a penalty advantage to Tulane. Looks like we're definitely into running overtime, just waiting for play completion. Looks like Tulane is trying to get at least a score in. And they're kicking for touch. And it looks like it was no good. And that is score. Tulane will take this game 31-12 over Louisiana Tech, and that'll put them at number 2 in the Deep South Rugby Conference. These two teams will be meeting each other again next week for the Deep South Rugby Championship, and it'll be based out in Mobile, Alabama during the Battleship Tournament. Mike, I want to thank you for coming on to the show.
Absolutely, Gift. You run a professional setup here, and it was a pleasure.
All right, well, always a pleasure having you on. Always a pleasure to be around. It's been a great game for both teams. Looking to have William Stewart, man of the match. And my name is Gifttime Ibelu here with Mike Wathan on the Gifttime Rugby Radio Network. I hope you guys have a great day, and cheers.